heaven's design. Not the broken girl I was, but who I am in his eyes. I'm learning how to love the woman looking back at me.
Hey, family, it's Felicia Lee White, aka Coach Fee, and this is another episode of Beyond the Mirror with Coach Fee. So I guess you're wondering, well, that's not the closet. No, let me move over. This is the Women's Health and Fitness Center I have been privileged to own for over 20 years, where I train women that are mostly over 50. I do have a few youngsters that snuck in here, and so I was going to do something a little different today. And the reason that I am here is because before this episode is over, you will see a few of the ladies that are suffering or have suffered or have gone through the topic for today. So first of all, before we even get into the topic, let's reflect on what happened in our third episode. In our third episode, we talked about the woman behind the muscle, and that was myself. And the one takeaway that we had for the woman behind the muscle was the strength isn't vanity, it's survival. Let me say that again. Strength is not vanity, it's survival. And when you are a person such as myself, or any woman that enjoys working out, that have worked from the inside out, you understand that it's not about the vanity, right? And so I want you to remember, when you are in a conversation or you come upon a woman that spends a lot of time in the gym and has taken her tempo to another level, that it's not vanity, it's survival. But today's topic is one of those topics that women everywhere sometimes stop and gasp about. And our topic today is menopause, the quiet storm. I'm gonna grab my chair on that one. Menopause, the quiet storm. So let me give you a little backstory on me. I started menopause at the age of 38, and nobody told me anything. As a recovering person, this was something that just kind of snuck up on me at a very, very young age. So I really didn't have anybody to bounce that off of. My mom, I had lost my mom quite a few years earlier. I did hear my sister say that the medicine that she took made her sicker. And so menopause is something that we choose discipline over fear. Let me say that again. Woo, I'm going to get my glasses on this one. You like my glasses today, y'all? Listen, we choose discipline over fear. And menopause didn't weaken me, it defined me. And let me give you my reasoning for that. So what I did, this is what I did. We're going to find out, how some other women perceived it, went through it, how it felt for them. Because we were always afraid of the M word, menopause, because for me, I thought that was like the end of the beginning, or the beginning of the end. And it necessarily didn't turn out that way for me. You see, what I did differently was I took control of my food, my exercise, by the assistance of my then and still mentor and trainer. I told you I'm a recovering person, so I can't take a lot of drugs, right? And he would say just that. Well, you can't take any drugs. And I'm always afraid anything that I take will interrupt my recovery. Very, very, very particular about what I put in my body. And he was right. I couldn't. And so what I did was I took control of my food and my workout, and I got an extra fan. I personally didn't suffer from some of the symptoms and the issues that some of my other sisters suffer from, because I had somebody, and I try to preach the same thing. If you just get control of your food and your diet. Now, I know some of us have to get medication, and some of us, have to have hormone therapy and all, and that's fine, because I need you to consult your doctor first. Don't listen just to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I went through. Ooh, this hair today, y'all. I'm telling you what I had to experience. This is my experience. Some of the women in the gym I've heard, can't eat, can't sleep. It interrupts a whole part of their life. And I do understand that. But at what point do we take responsibility for some of the things that we are doing that makes our menopause worse? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. At what point do we take our power back? I know this is a medical issue, and there are also some women who have not suffered at all. They didn't even have the symptoms that I had. But ladies, menopause is not the end of your strength story. Let me put my glasses on so I can make sure I'm reading this right. It is not the end of your strength story. It's the chapter where wisdom meets discipline. Ooh! Where wisdom meets discipline. You don't need to disappear. You need to evolve. I'm going to put this on and say this one more time. Ladies, menopause is not the end of your discipline story. It's the chapter where wisdom meets discipline. You don't need to disappear. You need to evolve. Fee, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. That means take your power back. Don't swivel up. Don't let it control your whole being. I know this is a natural progression of the body, right? It is a natural progression of the body. And there are things that we go through that our spouses will never understand. You know, I listen, still right now, I'll take the cover off, put the cover on. Take the cover off, put the cover on. Well, that's just who I am. I've always done that. But what we have to understand is, at what part of this do I participate in my growth and being able to evolve during this process? I'll be 64 next week. Come on. And I told you I started at 38. I don't even remember when it ended. All I know is that I would have the hot flashes, right? But they weren't very severe because I was real particular about what I ate. Have I been lax lately? Absolutely. But I'm still real particular about what I put in my body. And I make sure that I work out almost, for me, out of 7 days, probably 5. Because it helps me mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And there's a lot of things that we know that we cannot control in life. But God gave you the spirit of moving forward, right? God said, I got you. So I had to trust, and I still have to trust him during this process. So I'm encouraging you to trust the process, right? Don't wivel up. I can't. And you know what? Let me say this. Woo, Holy Spirit. I get so tired of hearing I can't. Yes, you can if you push yourself. Push yourself past the point of being comfortable. Push yourself past the point of saying, I'm not going to give in to menopause. Menopause is going to give in to me. I'm not going to let this take over my entire life and I can't think straight. I'm not going to do it. But again, consult your doctor. You have a choice of medication. You have a choice of trying really, 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 really hard and controlling what you put in your mouth, the food that you eat, and your exercise. You have that choice. You have a choice. And I know for me, the choice was only eating correctly and trying to exercise, because as a recovering person, man, I'm scared. I'd be scared to death to take anything. I'm afraid to death to take anything. So I know that I had to control it some kind of way. And practice makes perfect. Woo. Come on, somebody. Let me just. Practice makes perfect. That doesn't mean that every day I do things perfectly when it comes to this. But as a whole, man, we try to take it back and rein it in and know that out of 7 days, 4 days, 5 days was good. There's no perfection, but practice makes perfect. But what I understand is that the power that God has given me, I need to use it. And so for all my women that come to the Women's Health and Fitness Center, and again, like I said, we are a group of women 40 and over. Yeah, like I said, we got a few youngsters in here, but there's not one woman that has come through these doors that don't have a story about menopause. There is not one woman that comes in here that their process has been the same. There's no two people that has the same process, right? And so I hear them, I pray for them, but I also give them the information. What is it that you are doing to make it better? Are you out eating every weekend? Are you eating a lot of salt? Are you not exercising? Are you consuming a lot of sugar? Are you trying to eat leaner meats that are leaner? Excuse me. What are you doing to help? There's always something that you can do to help yourself. But again, like we said, there are some people who have to go to further measures, and I get that. I can only say that I didn't have to do that. And so I am grateful for this topic. You know what? I'm grateful for the topic and the situation that I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of going through life's progression. I'm not afraid. But what I do is I keep my ears open, I pay attention, I listen, and I do what works for me and my body. And I suggest that you do the same thing. What works for you and your body. And trust me, your body is not broken. It's asking you to lead it differently. Woo! Read that with my glasses on. Trust me, your body's not broken. It's not broken. It is asking you to lead it differently. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to lead your body differently? That right there, I think we could probably end on that one. It wants you to lead it differently. So we're going to talk to a few of the ladies, and I'm sure whatever information that they give you would be helpful. Okay?
I must admit, I never knew what menopause was because growing up, our parents said the change. They never used the word menopause. So you thinking, well, what am I going through? Because my mom called it the change.
Everybody called it the change.
Well, the change is actually menopause. And I must admit, I tried losing weight about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, somewhere in that range. And I was so successful. But when my menopause hit, it's harder for the weight to go. And it's all in the belly. But consistency.
Tell it again.
Consistency.
And tell them how much weight you've lost.
I've lost a total of 62 pounds.
On menopause. So
eating well. Oh, God. And I did not drink water. But now drinking my water and eating better. And working out. Ooh. Weightlifting. Woo! Weightlifting. You can do cardio, yes, but I have seen results from weightlifting, strength training. I've gotten stronger, and I see results in my belly area and all these little areas that wasn't going nowhere.
With menopause.
Yes.
With menopause.
And it does help working out that your night sweats are not as bad. And you have to know your triggers, what makes you, if I eat the wrong thing, God knows if I drink something I'm not supposed to drink, those adult beverages. Or if I eat sweets, my night sweats are really, really bad.
Oh, and Tonya, if I pronounce it, Sissy. Everybody Sissy here. She said the same thing. Yeah. She said that drinking made it worse.
Wrong foods and wrong drinks, my night sweats are excessively worse. So I stay away from those things, and I have a better night's sleep, and I'm more productive for work, myself, and my workout.
So we're going to ask her this question. Has exercising and trying to control your food helped at all?
Yeah, it does, honestly, because when I eat sugar, don't tell my trainer that I eat sugar. So when I do, I certainly feel it. Like I get the hot flashes, they're more frequent. I think there are just certain things that trigger it more. And so I'm trying to be cognizant of that.
Okay, good.
Sometimes I slip into it and I can feel it.
Okay, so you heard it from her. Your diet, or not diet, just changing the way you eat and working out, paying more attention to your body, and you will decide whether you need medication or not.
I was devastated with night sweats. That was the worst thing for me. It's nice as the hot flashes didn't get me, but I've learned that proper eating.
Say that again.
Proper eating.
And what else?
Sleeping and exercising really did help with minimizing my symptoms of menopause, especially eating natural foods, not processed foods.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
When I went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, there's some studies that show that eating properly, the good nutritions help minimize that. But it was hard getting my energy level up. And I'm always Googling. They say never Google, but looking up results to see why is this, and, our mid area.
Yeah.
So our body changed. You can eat the same like you did 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So you heard it from somebody else when I talked about it is not a death sentence. And you have the power to change. You just have to be willing to do something about it.
Hang in there.
Thank you guys for joining this 4th episode of Beyond the Mirror with Coach Fee. As I said, we came to a different location because I wanted some of the women to give you their story on menopause. And let me leave you with this. Menopause isn't a shutdown, it's a reset. And menopause didn't break me. It taught me how to train smarter. It taught me how to train smarter. So before we leave, we always spotlight, give a shout out to a client, friend, or family. And today I want all my ladies to come to the front. Come on. And let me say to you, menopause isn't breaking you. It's not breaking you. So I'm going to shout all my ladies out that have gone through this quiet storm. So thank you for hanging with us on this 4th episode of Beyond the Mirror, and I will see you next week. Bye.
I look in the mirror, I see heaven's design. Not the broken girl I was, but who am in his eyes.